So today's our topic, that is heavy water any. So it is the another compound of hydrogen or its isotope, which is also called as deuterium oxide, and its formula is D2O. D2O. So let us discuss about this heavy water. See boys, heavy water end. Its formula is D2O. Deuterium is one of the isotopes of hydrogen. That deuterium is also called as heavy hydrogen. That is why the water formed with that heavy hydrogen is called as heavy water. Okay. So systematically, it is a deuterium oxide. Deuterium oxide. See here. So this was first prepared by Urey. The scientist Urey first prepared this uranium, that is deuterium oxide. So how, sir? Let us explain. Okay. So where this deuterium oxide is there? This is present in our ordinary water. Ordinary water also contains this deuterium oxide. So ordinary water is also, no doubt, having a traces of D2O, a traces of D2O. So now the ratio of in water, the ratio of H2O is to D2O is equal to 6000 is to 1. So the ratio of H2O is to D2O is 6000 is to 1. 6000 is to 1. So that means very huge amount of water is there. Very huge amount of water is there. So that is 6000 is to 1. Next, here D2O, the pH of this D2O is almost 7.35. The pH of this D2O, 7.75, that is greater than 7, slightly basic in nature. So our heavy water is slightly basic in nature. Our water is neutral. pH is equal to 7 at 25 degrees centigrade. But here at 25 degrees centigrade, heavy water pH is so slight more than 7, that is 7.35, which is greater than 7. So slightly basic in nature, heavy water. Okay. Now, sir, in our nature, heavy water is there. Where this heavy water is there? Heavy water in our nature available at, so this is our D2O is present in nature at that is in nature, that is 1 at banyan trees and banyan tree leaves. Leaves of banyan tree contains this D2O. Leaves of banyan tree contains this D2O. Next, second one, that is our rainwater. Rainwater also contains this heavy water. Rainwater also contains this heavy water. That is D2O. Next, third one, that is remains. That is residues and remains obtained. So by the melting of snow, remains obtained by the melting of snow in Himalayas. So there also our D2O is available. Leaves of banyan tree, rainwater. So these are the remains from snow. So these are the naturally available conditions. Our D2O. These are the existing conditions. See boys, D2O. So how this D2O is formed? Hydrogen. This hydrogen has 3 isotopes. That is 1H1, 1D2, 1T3. 1H1, 1D2, 1T3. Those are the 3 isotopes of hydrogen. And also oxygen has two isotopes in it. What are those? Oxygen, atomic number 8, mass number 16. Oxygen, atomic number 8, mass number 17. These are the two isotopes of oxygen. These are the two isotopes of oxygen. So by the combination of these three and these two, almost 12 types of water molecules are formed. 12 types of water molecules are. How is that? See here, both the hydrogens are same hydrogens. That is H2O, that is D2O, that is T2O, HD, that is HTO, like this. Overall, 12 types of water molecules are formed. 12 types of water. So, but our D2O is this one. Both the deuterium atoms. Now, see boys, here, so molecular weight of D2O. So here, D plus oxygen. This D has mass number 2. This D has mass number 2. This oxygen has mass number 16. That's what it is. That is 20. 20 is the molecular weight of D2O. 20 is the molecular weight of D2O. So this is molecular weight of D2O. Next, at the same time, see boys. So here, water is formed by the combination of deuterium and oxygen. So here, the electronegativity of deuterium is greater than that of ordinary hydrogen. Please be conscious, boys. This is very, very important. Electronegativity of deuterium, heavy hydrogen, greater than hydrogen. At the same time, next, another one, that is dipole moment of water. Dipole moment of water greater than that of dipole moment of D2O. Please be conscious. It is all memory based concepts. Dipole moment of water is greater than that of dipole moment of D2O. So it is also here. That is, water is more polar than D2O. So this water is more polar than D2O. Next. So these are, please be conscious, boys. These are all totally memory based points. Please be conscious. Next. At the same time, the bond length in, that is between hydrogen and oxygen, bond length between hydrogen and oxygen, it is greater than that of deuterium and oxygen. Therefore, bond energy, that is OH bond energy, is less than that of OD bond energy. OH bond energy is less than that of OD bond energy. So it is very, very important. It is very, very important. Next, at the same time, boiling point of D2O is greater than H2O. Boiling point of D2O greater than H2O. Later I will explain with the values. And also freezing point of D2O is greater than that of H2O. Boiling point and freezing points of D2O are greater than that of H2O. So these are all memory based points. Very, very important. So here this is very, very important. Dipole moment of water is greater than that of dipole moment of water, that is D2O. At the same time, electronegativity of deuterium is greater than that of electronegativity of hydrogen. Now, so D2O, where this D2O is used, sir? So what is the importance of this D2O? Okay. So generally deuterium D2O, that is heavy water, is used in nuclear reactors as a moderator. That means in nuclear reactors for power generation, uranium is used. That uranium is bombarded with fast moving neutrons. For controlling that neutrons, to split down the neutrons, so deuterium D2O is used. That is called as moderator. D2O is used as a moderator in nuclear reactors. That is nothing but to reduce the speed, to control the speed of fast moving neutrons. That is very, very important. So that is why we must prepare this D2O, because D2O in our nature available in very, very trace amounts. That is why we must prepare this D2O. Now, what are the preparations of this D2O? Now our topic is preparations of D2O. Now our topic is preparation methods of D2O. There are two methods to prepare this one. Two methods. One is exchange process, and the second one is electrolytic process. There are two methods to prepare this D2O industrially, that is exchange process and electrolytic process. Let us discuss one by one. That is, one, exchange process. Exchange process. So already I told that, see boys, that is HO bond is weaker than HD bond. That means this bond is weak than that of this one. Sorry, it is OD bond, not HD, that is OD. So HO bond is weaker than OD bond. Based on this concept, here oxygen connected hydrogen is easy to replace because bond energy is very, very less. Okay, so based on that concept, here the concept is that is exchange process is applied. See here, boys. Let us take two beakers. One beaker filled with hot water. It is totally hot water. This is hot water. And the other beaker is filled with cold water. It is cold water. So two beakers, one filled with hot water and the other one is with cold water. Okay, so this is the first situation. Now pass H2S gas into the hot water. Here this water, ordinary water may also contain D2O, very, very trace amounts. So the D2O present in this hot water, see here, H2S. So in H2S, there is a bond between sulfur and hydrogen. So that is, here D2O is there. So that D2O, that is deuterium, which is present in hot water, converted into. So H2S is changed to D2S and H2O. That means all the hydrogens present in H2S are replaced with, exchanged with this deuterium. Now the coming out gas is D2SN. From hot water, the coming out gas is D2SN. Now the D2S passed into the cold water. Now that D2S gas is passed into the cold water. So in cold water, it is in hot condition, boys. In hot condition, this is the reaction. It is the exchange takes place. Now in cold condition, the D2S, which is entered into the vessel, reacts with ordinary water and converts into, that is H2S and D2O. This H2S coming out from the vessel. H2S coming out. That means the percentage of, in cold water junction, in cold water bath, the percentage of D2O time to time increase. Percentage of D2O time to time increase. That means D2O is enriched in cold water bath. The process is repeated in number of times so as to require your desired percentage of D2O. So this is the way to express, to prepare the D2O. So here H2S is the mediator. Just that here hydrogens are exchanged. So hydrogen replaced with deuterium, deuterium replaced with hydrogen. In hot water, hydrogen replaces deuterium. In cold water, deuterium replaces hydrogen. So this is the way H2O preparation. Okay, next one. Second method. Second method, that is electrolysis method. That is electrolysis method. That is electrolytic process. Electrolytic process. Here, whenever electrolytic process is there, the requirements are electrolytes. That means that is the liquid through which current is passed. Electrolytic cell, where that electrolyte is taken, that is the liquid. So liquid taken in a vessel, that vessel is called as electrolytic cell. Through that liquid, we want to send the current, that is battery positive, negative, that is electrodes. These are the minimum requirements for us. For this electrolysis technique, now what are the used? What is this used? That is first one, electrolyte. Electrolyte used for this D2O preparation is actually pure water, and water is used because water contains D2O. All the available water is removed, automatically remaining D2O is there, because boiling point of D2O is greater than that of H2O. During electrolysis, first of all, H2 is evaporated in the form of H2 and O2. The remaining remains D2O. But pure water is the bad conductor of electricity. That is why some NaOH is added as an impurity to increase the conductivity of that pure water. That is why the electrolyte used for here, for this process, that is N/2 NaOH solution. N/2 NaOH solution. N/2 is nothing but 0.5 N NaOH solution. 0.5 N NaOH solution. Almost is pure water. Slightly basic in nature. Now, electrodes. That means what is that? Anodes and cathodes. So anode and cathode, these are considered as electrodes. The anode for this process is perforated nickel sheet. Perforated nickel sheet acts as anodes, and that is steel tank acts as cathode. This steel tank plays dual role, boys. This one also used as electrolytic cell, where the liquid is taken. This is also used as electrolytic cell. That means the steel tank itself acts as cathode and electrolytic cell. Now, what is the arrangement? So this is the repeated process, boys. Here almost total stages, number of stages required is almost 7 stages are required. So step by step, almost 7 stages are required. The total time required for this process, that is nearly 72 hours. Nearly 72 hours is required for the preparation of this D2O. For the preparation of this D2O. See, boys. Okay. So every time, what happened here? So let us take the diagrammatic arrangement. That is, this is our steel tank. This is our steel tank. This steel tank itself acts as cathode. Cathode means, so that is cations reach, that is connected to battery negative. It is a steel tank and it acts as cathode. Steel tank. Next, in this steel tank, N/2 NaOH solution is filled. N/2 NaOH solution is filled. That is N/2 NaOH solution. Through that, current is passed. For that purpose, there is requirement of anode, and that anode is a perforated nickel sheet. This is a perforation side. That is liquid free to move on. That is a perforated nickel end. This is a nickel anode. Nickel anode. Okay. Close this vessel, boys. Close this vessel. Close this vessel. So some gases are released. This is the outlet for that gases. This is a waste gases. So this is the diagrammatic arrangement for the preparation of this D2O by electrolytic process. Now pass the current. Pass the current. Okay. So when current is passed, so it is almost water N/2 there is N/2 NaOH means very dilute NaOH solution. Almost water is there. Almost water is there. That water is going to be electrolyzed. All the water is going to be electrolyzed. So that means H2O dissociates into H2 and O2. Those are coming out. So that means these waste gases are nothing but our H2 and O2 gases. These are the escaped gases. That means as time going on, the volume of the solution gradually decreases. So the process is continued up to. So the volume inside the vessel reaches to 1/6 part of initial volume. Please continue the process up to the volume in the vessel reaches 1/6 part of initial volume. So 1/6 part of initial volume. Now stop the electrolysis. Bring the solution. No doubt, most of the water is escaped as H2 and O2. So now NaOH remaining. That means the solution becomes more basic because relatively less amount of water is there. That is why. So more basic So to neutralize that basic compounds, because something basic is nature. So to neutralize that one, CO2 is CO2 carbon dioxide. Non-metal oxides are acidic end. CO2 gas is passed through that solution. Because that is basic, this is acidic, automatically neutralization takes place. Now, with that 1/6 part, take in another vessel, similar type of vessel. Now the process is continued, that is the second stage. Once again, that volume becomes 1/6. So like this, almost 7 stages you should continue. 7 stages. After completion of that 7th stage, you will get a little amount of D2. So after final completion of 7th stage, so we will get D2. Every time, once the volume of the solution becomes 1/6. That means as the number of steps increase, the volume of solution becomes reduced. And finally, after completion of D2O, that is 7 stages, so we will get D2O. We will get this after completion of 7th stage. This is electrolytic process first. Here the important one is which one is the electrolyte, what is anode, what is cathode. So how many stages are required for neutralization purpose CO2 gases. These are all objective oriented bits. See boys, here if you take 29,000 liters water, if you take 29,000 liters water, after completion of these conditions, after 7 stages, you will get 1 liter D2O. You will get 1 liter D2O. So that is the way. That is why D2O is very, very precious and costliest one. So precious and costliest one. So that's why please save this. So this is the way to prepare D2O. So exchange process and electrolysis process. These are the two processes. Okay. Why CO2, sir? CO2 because after 1/6 volume becomes 1/6 volume, the solution becomes basic because there is NaOH. So now solution to neutralize that solution. To neutralize, NaOH is base, CO2 is non-metal oxide. Non-metal oxides are acidic. That means to that base, this acid is added. That is why neutralization takes place. So this is the preparation of D2O. Now, what are the properties of this D2O? What are the properties? That is nothing but both physical properties and chemical properties. So here, physical properties are also most important. Physical properties are also most important. See here. Physical properties. Now these physical properties, now I compare these properties with regular our water. When comparison we will take. So these points and these values will be very, very important points. Please be mind. So that is, so with water, how much is the value? Water has how much value? And D2O has how much value? First one, molecular weight. Molecular weight. Water has here oxygen 18, hydrogen 2. Therefore, overall it is 18 is the oxygen 16, hydrogen 2. So molecular weight is 18. There the molecular weight already I counted, that is 28. That means the molecular weight of D2O is more than that of H2O. That is something heavier than water. That is heavy water because heavy hydrogen is there. Next, boiling point of water. Boiling point. Water has, how much is the boiling point? Frequently we have 100 degrees centigrade is the boiling point. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, so that is nothing but 373 Kelvin. 373 Kelvin. But D2O are little bit more, that is 101.42 degrees centigrade. 101.42 degrees centigrade, that is nothing but 374.42 Kelvin. So that means boiling point also more for D2O. Next, third one, freezing point or melting point. Freezing point or melting point. That is, water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade. Water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade. Nothing but that is 273 Kelvin. 273 Kelvin. That is 3.82 degrees centigrade. 3.82. That is 276.82 Kelvin. That means this one also, freezing point also more for D2O. More for D2O. Next, temperature. Temperature of maximum density. Temperature of maximum density. At which temperature these liquids have maximum density? That is, it is at 4 degrees centigrade, boys. At 4 degrees centigrade, water density is maximum water density. But that is just a minute, boys. That is 11.6 degrees centigrade. It is 11.6. It is 4. That means what I told here, all these values are more for D2O and less for water. Less for water. But some properties are more for H2O than that of D2O. So please keep in mind which one has more value. Please keep in mind these values may ask in your object to side exam. Object to side. Very, very important values. Very, very important. Once again, viscosity. Viscosity. Viscosity of D2O is more than that of H2O. Viscosity of D2O is more than that of, it is 557. It is 557 calorie. Just sorry, guys. That is 12.6. Those values are 12.6. Its value is 10.09. 10.09 millipoison. That means the value is more for this D2O. That means viscosity also more for D2O. That means D2O is more associated liquid when compared to H2O. Because of that, viscosity is more. That means D2O in our nature exists as more associated liquid than that of H2O. Because of that, D2O has a little more boiling point. Now, some properties, see here, some properties are more for H2O than that of D21. What are those points? These points are very, very important, boys. See here, first one, that is the dielectric constant. Dielectric constant of H2O is more than that of D2O. So because of this more dielectric constant, so most of the chemicals are more soluble in water than that of D2O. That means solubility of salts in water is more in case of water than that of D2O. It is due to dielectric constant. There is a property. What is dielectric constant? There is a tendency of solvent to break the chemicals, which is dissolved in it. That tendency is dielectric constant. It is the physical property of that particular solvent, which is more for H2O than that of D2O. Because of this reason, solubility of chemicals in water is more than that of D2O. Therefore, second point, that is solubility of salts is also more for H2O than that of D2O. So dielectric constant more, solubility more. Next one, that is third one, ionic product. So this one also more for H2O. See here, that is ionic product. For water, ionic product is, that is, we know 1.0 into 10 power minus 14 moles square per liter square at 25 degrees centigrade. But for D2O, this ionic product is 0.3 into 10 power minus 14. 0.3 into 10 power minus 14 moles square per liter square at 25 degrees centigrade, boys. That means ionic product of water is more for H2O than that of D2O. It is also important. Next, fourth one, that is refractive index. Refractive index. It is the property of chemical shining. So glittering nature, when light is passed on, incident on that particular surface of a substance, it is reflects, and some properties are there. That is refractive index shining. So next, fifth one, surface tension. That is also more for H2O than that of D2O. Surface tension. Next, latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of fusion, and not vaporization, fusion. Latent heat of fusion is also more for H2O than that of D2O. And last one, that is mu. That is, what is mu? Mu is nothing but dipole moment. Dipole moment of H2O greater than D2O. That is nothing but dipole moment. See, boys, these are the properties which are more for H2O than that of D2O. More for H2O than that of D2O. Except these properties, whatever it may be the remaining property asked to you, more for D2O and less for H2O. And less for Y. Please keep in mind, these are all very, very important. These are all very, very important. So dielectric constant, solubility, ionic product, and refractive index, surface tension, latent heat of fusion, not vaporization, boys. Latent heat of fusion and dielectric point. That is dipole moment. Therefore, water is more polar than D2O. Water is more polar than D2O. So these are all some physical properties of D2O. These are all physical properties of D2O. Next, see, boys, the solubility of salts in water is more than that of D2O. How much, sir? For example, if NaCl is dissolved in water, 15% more soluble in H2O than that of D2O. Almost 15% variation is there. That is why solubility of salts in water is more than that of D2O. Please keep in mind. Now, chemical properties. Now, chemical properties boys of D2O. What is D2O? Nothing but deuterium oxide. It is also called as heavy water. That means it is nothing but water and it seems to be water, but a little variation, a little variation. That means the chemical properties of D2O is also similar to H2O. Almost similar to H2O. Exactly, but the rate of reactivity is different. Rate of reaction. Already I told that. That is here, boys. So HO bond is weaker than DO bond. DO bond. That means which one easy to break? Which one easy to break? Tell me. Is this OH bond or OD bond? No doubt OH bond. OH bond. That means the bond OH bond easy to break. That's why H2O easily involved in the reaction than that of D2O. Because this bond is easy to break. That means easy to involve in the reaction. So because of this reason, therefore, the reactivity of H2O greater than D2O. The reactivity of H2O is greater than D2O, but the way of reaction is almost similar. But H2O somewhat fast, D2O slower. H2O somewhat fast, D2O slower. But as it is reactions going, as it is reactions. Let us take some examples. That is, first one, already some reactions are completed at the time of water. So I am repeating the points once again, recalling. See here. For example, electrolysis. Electrolysis. That means if H2O is electrolyzed, hydrogen gas and O2 gas are liberated. So through water, current is passed, H2 and O2 are formed. So the reaction is completed at the time of preparation of H2. So hydrogen gas at cathode, oxygen gas at anode will be formed. So that means here H2 plus half O2 are the products. This is at cathode, this is at anode. Similarly, if D2O involved in electrolysis, no doubt D2 plus O2 gases are released. In place of hydrogen, deuterium is there. So D2 gas and O2 gas are liberated. This is at cathode, that is at anode, but a little bit slow. Something slow. It takes some time. Okay, that means once again reactivity is more for H2O than that of D2O. Next one. It is deuterium gas, boys. But that is why D2O is used to prepare deuterium gas. This deuterium gas is used as a tracer compound in organic reaction mechanism, and that is why that is one of the uses of this D2O to prepare D2 gas. Next one, that is reaction with metals. Reaction with metals. No doubt, already I completed. See, boys, when sodium reacts with water, that gives NaOH and hydrogen gas is liberated. Boys, I am here using only unbalanced equations. So you should balance these. Here sodium reacts with water, that form NaOH and hydrogen gas. If in case of D2O is there, that is NaOD and D2 gas is liberated. Similar reaction, but this is fast, this is slow. That's the only difference. That is the only difference, boys. Okay, so hydrogen is now replaced with deuterium. That's enough. Next, for example, when magnesium reacts with water, that gives magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is liberated. But if D2O is used, that means magnesium hydroxide, that is plus D2 gas. Now, sir, what are the names of these compounds? No doubt we know this is sodium hydroxide. This is sodium hydroxide. It is heavy sodium hydroxide. Please place heavy word in place of normal name. Heavy sodium hydroxide. It is magnesium hydroxide. It is a heavy magnesium hydroxide. Just add heavy word. as a prefix. So heavy magnesium hydroxide or magnesium deuterohydroxide. Okay, so this is next. This is the way to react when metals react with water or D2O. Similar reactions. So no doubt it is fast, it is slow. It is fast and slow. Now with metal oxides. Next, with metal oxides. For example, when sodium oxide reacts with water, that gives NaOH. Similarly, if it is reacts with D2O, that gives NaODN. NaOH is now NaODN. That is heavy sodium hydroxide. For example, if calcium oxide reacts with water, that gives CaOH twice Na. So similarly, D2O reacts with water, that gives CaODN. CaOD. So like this, when metal oxides reacts with water, gives respect to hydroxides. So that is basic compound. Here also, these are also basic boys, but heavy hydroxides are the product. Next, with non-metal oxides. With non-metal oxides. Now, for example, CO2, it is non-metal oxide, it is acidic. And this one reacts with water, gives H2CO3 is the product. Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. Now, if this reacts with D2O, that is D2, not H2, that is D2CO3. Heavy carbonic acid. That is carbonic acid, this is heavy carbonic acid. So next, for example, if SO3 reacts with water, that gives H2SO for sulfuric acid. If it reacts with D2O, that gives D2SO for heavy sulfuric acid. Heavy sulfuric acid. For example, if N2O5, nitrogen pentoxide, this one reacts with water, that gives HNO3 as the product. Nitric acid. If it reacts with D2O, that gives DNO3, heavy nitric acid. Heavy nitric. So no doubt all these reactions exactly similar to water, but a little bit slow. So with metal oxides and non-metal oxides. Next, with carbides, these are very, very important. With carbides, boys, very, very important. Number of times asked bits are here. That is, let us take aluminum carbide, Al4C3. When it reacts with water, that gives aluminum hydroxide and methane gas is formed. So if D2O is used, no doubt, as usual reaction. NaOD thrice and CD4 is the product. NaOD thrice, CD4. What is this? It is a methane, boys. What is this? It is heavy methane or deuteromethane. Heavy methane or deuteromethane are the names of that compounds. Names of that compounds. For example, Be2C, beryllium carbide, when reacts with water, gives beryllium hydroxide and CH4. So no doubt D2O reacts with, so BeOD twice plus CD4. Heavy methane. Next, that is CaC2, calcium carbide. When it reacts with water, that gives CaOH twice plus C2H2 is the product. What is this? Acetylene. Now, if it reacts with D2O, now CaOD twice plus C2D2 is the product. C2D2 is the product. What is this? It is heavy acetylene. Acetylene and heavy acetylene. Like this. And carbides. So similar to water, but little bit slow with the carbides. Next, some other reactions. That is, when magnesium nitride, boys, it is magnesium nitride. If it reacts with water, that is magnesium hydroxide plus NH3 is the productant. It is ammonia. So that means any nitride on hydrolysis gives ammonia. This is hydrolysis reaction. Now, if it reacts with D2O, that gives MgOD twice plus ND3, as it is reaction, ND3, which is heavy ammonia. Important reaction. Next, when calcium phosphide, Ca3P2, it is calcium phosphide. If you know water reaction, that is just replaced with hydrogen is replaced with DN. That is the deuterium reaction. So Ca3P2, calcium phosphide. When it reacts with water, that gives calcium hydroxide, and PH3 is the product. What is this? Phosphine. Now, if it reacts with D2O, that gives CaOD twice plus PD3, no doubt, which is heavy phosphine. So this is the way when metal oxides, metal nitrides, or metal phosphates are involved in the reactions. Okay. So beyond this, some other compounds, just like water form hydrated compounds. And CuSO4, see here, let us examine. So that is for example, formation of deuterates, just like hydrates. Formation of deuterates, just like hydrate. What is the meaning of hydrate? Physical addition. See, boys, that is when salt reacts with water. What I told previously, it is physical interaction takes place and chemical reaction takes place. If it is physical interaction, that is called as hydration. If it is chemical reaction, that is hydrolysis. Already we completed at the time of water. It is hydrolysis, chemical reaction, hydrolysis, physical interaction, hydration. See, boys, see, that is, for example, if CuSO4 reacts with 5 water, that is CuSO4 5H2O is formed. CuSO, that is blue vitriol. CuSO4 5H2O. That is physical interaction. That is hydrated substances. Just like that, that is CrCl3, that is 6H2O is formed. Possible end. Okay. Next, similarly, COCl2, 6H2O. These are all nothing but hydrates. For example, in case of water, if you use D2O, this hydration is nothing but deuteration. If chemical reaction takes place, that is deuterolysis, which is called as deuterolysis. Similarly, So hydration, deuteration. So hydrates, deuterates. Deuterates are the products. Now that is CuSO4 5D2O, CrCl3 6D2O, COCl2 6D2O. These are all formed by. What are these? These are deuterates. Just like hydrates. Just like hydrates. That means physical interaction is possible. Deuterates also possible. Next, hydrolysis. What about that? For example, if AlCl3 involved in reaction with water, that gives AlOH thrice plus HCl is the product. HCl, which is nothing but hydrolysis reaction. It is hydrolysis. Now, same AlCl3 reacts with D2O, that gives AlOD thrice plus DCl is the product. DCl is the product. What is this? It is deuterolysis. Deuterolysis. This is deuterolysis, that is hydrolysis. Like similar to water, hydrates and hydrolysis, both are possible. Their deuterates and deuterolysis are possible. Deuterates and deuterolysis are the possible situation. Along these, special reactions are possible. So that is exchange reactions. Exchange reactions. See here. Exchange reaction. That means hydrogen is replaced with deuterium. Replacements. Just interchange. That is called as exchange. The type of exchange reactions are possible. Here, the hydrogen which is exchanged with deuterium are called as labile hydrogens. Labile. Easy to replace. Easy to replace. That hydrogen is also called as active hydrogen. For example, see boys, that is H3PO3. That is, this is OH, this is OH, this is H. It is our substance. It is our substance. Here, this is the hydrogen bonded with oxygen. This is the hydrogen bonded with oxygen. But this is the hydrogen connected with phosphorus. Connected with phosphorus. Here, this hydrogen is easy to replace. This hydrogen is easy to replace, but not this one. But not this one. That's why these two hydrogens are called as active hydrogens. So these are also called as labile. What is that? Labile hydrogens. So active hydrogens or labile hydrogens. It is inactivant, non-activant. So that means, so these hydrogens are easy to replace, but not this one with deuterium. So that means those are the chemicals having labile hydrogens or active hydrogens are replaced with deuterium, and there is an exchange takes place. Exchange takes place. So by using this one, we can identify how much is the basicity of that particular acid. So this is the one of the important uses of D2O. One of the so to identify the basicity and the reaction, tracing the reaction mechanisms. So this is the most important reaction. See here some examples. There is a large electronegativity difference is there. Those hydrogens are replaceable. Otherwise not replaceable. Otherwise not replaceable. For example, HCl is there. This hydrogen is replaceable. Reacts with D2O. DCl plus HDO is the product. Exchange takes place. Next, H2SO4 reacts with D2O. That gives HDSO4 plus HDO. If this one reacts with D2O, that is D2SO4 plus, so H2O are the product. So this is nothing but replacement reactions. Next, NaOH. This also replaceable. This one reacts with D2O. That gives NaOD plus HDO is the product. Here also exchange takes place. Here also exchange takes place. Next, for example, NaH4Cl is there. Only one hydrogen is replaceable. Reacts with D2O. That gives NH3. One hydrogen is replaced. DCl plus HDO is the product. HDO is the product. These are all replacements. That is exchange. Interchange takes place. Hydrogen is replaced with deuterium. Deuterium replaced with hydrogen. So interchange reactions. Okay. Next, for example, NaH3N. Ammonia. This one reacts with D2O. This one reacts with D2O. That is NH2D plus HDO is a possible reaction. But simple, a little bit slow reaction. It is a little bit slow reaction. Exchange. Next, CH4 plus D2O. So all the hydrogens are not labile hydrogens. That's why no reaction. No reaction takes place. Very, very important, boys. Methane hydrogens, all the 4 hydrogens are not replaceable hydrogens with deuterium. So that's why those are not labile hydrogens, those are not active hydrogens. So okay, that's why methane is not involved in the reaction. So that is already I told you, that is electronegativity difference should be large. Should be large. Carbon has 2.5, hydrogen has 2.1, very less difference. That's why that hydrogen is not replaced. Next, that is benzene. Benzene. Because of resonance, those hydrogens are replaceable. Because of resonance, those hydrogens are replaceable. See here. That is C6H6. When it reacts with D2O, that is finally gives C6D6 plus H2O is the product, 3H2O. That means all the hydrogens are replaced with deuterium. It is possible in the presence of catalyst, nickel catalyst at about 200 degrees centigrade. So in the presence of nickel catalyst at about 200 degrees centigrade, all the hydrogens in benzene are replaced with. What is this one? This is hexadeutyrobenzene. It is called as benzene. Hexadeutyrobenzene. That is the product. That is the product. Okay. So this is the way exchanges are takes place. So all exchange reactions are possible. So this is, that means whenever water involved in the reaction, yes, replace it. Already I told, I'm not using balance. Okay. Whenever, that is how water involved in the reactions, almost all reactions are possible with D2. Already we observed those reactions. So please keep in mind, very, very important. Now, what are the effects of this D2O? No doubt, D2O is poisonous, my dear boys. D2O is poisonous. So it is unfit for drinking purposes. If D2O percentage is more in our drinking water, if D2O percentage is more in our drinking water, that is poisonous. That is poisonous. Because deuterium, D2O, stops number of biological reactions. In our body, number of reactions are takes place inside our stomach. Those reactions are stopped. Finally, we will goes to die. So that's why. So that is a poisonous. Next, that is the seeds. Seeds. But generally, seeds are easy to germinate with the help of water. If water is poured, seeds are germinated. But if D2O is poured, it is not possible. That means germination stops. Germination stops. These are all biological effects. These are all biological. So that is why D2O is used as germicide, bactericides, like that. D2O is used. That is the application of this D2O. Now, the most important applications of D2O are, first one, for the preparation of D2O. D2 gas applications. Applications. First one, to prepare D2 gas. Already I explained. To prepare D2 gas. Next one, as germicides and bactericidal. As germicide and bactericides. Next, as a tracer compound. As a tracer compound in reaction mechanisms. As a tracer compound in reaction mechanism to trace out the reaction mechanism. Next, and most important, as a moderator in nuclear reactors. In nuclear, what is moderator? So, to stop, to decrease the speed of fast moving neutrons. To decrease the speed of fast moving neutrons, that is the word used, moderator, as a moderator in nuclear reactors, as a moderator. Next, and most important, that is to study the structure and basicity of some compounds like H3PO3, H3PO2, etc. So already I explained it at the time of exchange reactions. So why the basicity of the H3PO3 is only 2 active hydrogen, 2 labile hydrogens. That is the basicity of the H3PO3 is 2. Why, sir? How to identify? Is this 2? That is only 2 deuteriums are replaced. That is why. So lability is only 200. That's why basicity is only 200. That, like that, the structures and basicities are identified with the help of this D2O only. So these are all applications of D2O wise. Okay, these are all applications of D2O. Very, very, very important. Okay, so now another compound. What is that? That is hydrogen peroxide. Among all compounds in our hydrogen peroxide, in our hydrogen and its compounds, H2O2, hydrogen peroxide is the very, very, very important. Hydrogen peroxide is the very, very important. The largest use of D2O is this one as a moderator. It is the most important. And also trace out the reaction mechanisms. Okay. Among all compounds, H2O, D2O, hydrogen, among all these, the most important compounds in hydrogen and its compounds is, the topic is hydrogen peroxide. Okay, hydrogen peroxide. What is this hydrogen peroxide? See here. This is H2O2. H2O2. That is hydrogen peroxide. Okay. So this was first discovered by Thenard in the year 1818. So who discovered this H2O2? So that is Thenard. In our nature, this H2O is there. Sir, how this H2O is formed in our nature? So see here, that is H2O is there. In water, in nature, water is there. In nature, nascent oxygens are formed. So in the presence of sunlight, this nascent hydrogen reacts with water, that gives H2O is the product. So like this, that means when oxygen added to water, H2O2 is formed. That is why in old days this H2O2 is considered as oxygenated water. So in old days, H2O2 is called as oxygenated water because of this reaction. This is the way to form that H2O2. So now its structure in old days. That is, it is water. There is a coordinate covalent bond between other oxygen. It is the structure of H2O2. Boys, it is in old days. In old days, this structure was given by the scientist Bayer. Bayer's structure. Bayer's structure. So this identity, this is nothing but oxygen added water. That is why it is called as oxygenated water. Oxygenated. Later, this was wrong ending, no doubt. So that is, I will explain it. Next, similarly, when H2O reacts with ozone, this is present in nature, this is present in nature. In the presence of sunlight, that gives H2O2 and O2. It is another preparation method for H2O2 in our nature. In our nature. Like this, H2O2 is formed. Like this. So here, H2O2, so that is hydrogen bonds are existent. H2O2 also has hydrogen bonds. See, boys? That is, see here, H2O2 also contains hydrogen bond. The strength of hydrogen bonds in H2O2 is greater than H2O. The strength of hydrogen bond in H2O2 is greater than H2O because of more oxygens are there. Oxygens are more, that means strength is also more. The strength of H2O2 is greater than H2O. Hydrogen bond strength in H2O2 is greater than that of H2O. Therefore, the boiling point of H2O2 greater than H2O. More hydrogen bonds, more is the boiling point. So note point, boys, very, very important. That is the boiling point order among three compounds, that is H2O greater than, D2O greater than H2O. H2O2 greater than, H2O greater than H2O. This is the order of boiling points. This is the order of boiling point. Very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. Please keep in mind. Please keep in mind. Next, one more point. H2O2. Actually, this is the structure of H2O2. Actually, this is the structure. How is that? I will explain. So this is the hydrogen connected to oxygen. This is the hydrogen connected with oxygen. This hydrogen released as H plus. This hydrogen also released as H plus. Therefore, from one molecule of H2O2, two H plus ions are coming out. Therefore, it is that is a dibasic acid. It is a dibasic acid. That means it is acidic in nature. H2O2 is an acid, which is a weak acid. Which is a weak acid. Its basicity is 2, a dibasic acid. H2O2 is a dibasic acid. Okay. Next, in H2O2, hydrogen is 1H1, oxygen is, that is atomic number 8, mass number 16. So these are the isotopes present in H2O2. These are the isotopes present in H2O2. Therefore, molecular weight of H2O2 is 2 oxygens are 2 16s, 32. That is 32. 32 plus 2 hydrogens are 34. 34 is the molecular weight of H2O2. Now, sir, what is peroxide? How to explain that peroxide? It is important. Why it is called as peroxide? In old days, that is oxygenated water, but later that is called as hydrogen peroxide. Why it is called as peroxide? How it is formed? See here. From oxygen side, oxygen gives 3 types of oxides. Generally, oxygen gives 3 types of oxides. Okay. So that is, one is oxide, second one is peroxide, and the third one is superoxide. Oxide, peroxide, and superoxide. These are the common oxides formed by oxygen. Along these, suboxides may also possible, but very rare. These are the common oxides. What is oxide? Here, oxygen has -2 charge. single oxygen has -2 charge is oxidizing. Two oxygens have -2 charge, peroxiding. Two oxygens have -1 charge is superoxidant. These are the formulae for this oxide, peroxide, and superoxide. Now, Lewis structures and Lewis dot structures. So here oxygen. So total number of valence electrons. Oxygen 16th group, 6th group, 6 plus gaining of 2 electrons, 8 electrons. Now it has. So this is O-2 structure. This is O-2 structure, Lewis dot structure. So octet is fulfilled. Octet is fulfilled. Now here 2 oxygens are 2, 6, 12, 12 plus 2 earning. Total 12 plus 2, 14 electrons. Now these are the 2 oxygens. 2 oxygens. Now one is bond pairs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now, so 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus 2, 14 electrons. So this one gets -2 charge. It is the Lewis dot structure for peroxide. That means a single bond present between oxygen and oxygen. A single bond present between each oxygen has 3 pairs of electrons. That is why it is -2. Here O, this oxygen has -1 charge. This oxygen has -1. It is according to formal charge calculations. Therefore, in peroxide, one oxygen has a -1 charge in. 2 oxygens have -1. So in peroxide, what is the oxygen state of oxygen? That is -1. Always oxygen state expressed with respect to a single element, single atom. That's why oxygen state is -1. In peroxides, oxidation state of oxygen is equal to -1. Here, in oxides, oxidation state of oxygen is equal to -2. In superoxides, oxidation state of oxygen is equal to -1/2. For oxygen, 2 oxygens have -1, 1 oxygen has -1/2. Next, how that superoxide is formed? Superoxide, that is 2 oxygens, 2, 6, 12, 12 -1, 1 electron, 13 electrons. That is, these are the 2 oxygens. 2 oxygens, one has bond pair, otherwise these two are not united with each other. One bond pair. Next, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, equally shared. Next, to maintain octet configuration, that is possible, that is a double bond between. Now that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12 end, but 13 electrons are there. Where that electron is added, I am using here. So collectively this one has -1. Sometimes this one and this one both are possible. Resonance is possible. That means it has unpaired electron. So superoxide has unpaired electron. Here all paired, but it has unpaired electron. Okay. So either this one or this one, anyone is used, no problem. Okay. It has unpaired electron. Because of this unpaired electron, it is a paramagnetic. This is dia, boys. This is dia. It is a paramagnetic end, superoxide. So because of presence of unpaired electron, it has color. Generally, superoxides of compounds, metal superoxides are colored in nature because of presence of that unpaired electron. Now, sometimes this unpaired electron may also use it here. That means there is a 3 electron bond. That is odd electron bond also possible. So this is the way to express that superoxide that is unstable because of that odd electron. So now I am restricted to peroxide because we are in hydrogen peroxide. I am restricted here only with peroxide, boys. So in peroxide, these are the structures. Here oxygen state is -1. So no unpaired electron is there. That is why it is paramagnetic and colorless. And also colorless. It is also colorless. Okay. So this is about oxides, peroxides, and superoxide. Now we are taking peroxide. What is peroxide? So there is a single bond between oxygen and oxygen, which is called as peroxide. The bond present between oxygen and oxygen, the single bond present between oxygen and oxygen is called as peroxy bond. What is peroxy bond? A single bond between oxygen and oxygen is called as peroxy bond. Generally, boys, between two oxygens, a double bond exists. It is a normal ending. Normal ending. So not here. But what is peroxy bond? There is a single bond between oxygen and oxygen. Each oxygen has -1 charge. That is called as peroxy bond. Single bond between oxygen and oxygen is peroxy bond. The compound having this bond, is called as a peroxide. Is called as peroxide. Okay. In peroxide, must and should be two oxygens are there minimum, because there should be a single bond between oxygen and oxygen. Okay. Those compounds having this peroxide linkage are simply called as true peroxides. Those are nothing but exact peroxides. Now there are some lot of compounds so having this peroxide linkage in it. So those are called as true peroxide. Let us observe those points. That is true peroxide. What is this true peroxide? Nothing but exact peroxides. Exact peroxides and true peroxides. That means our OO single bond with -1. So this bond exists. This bond exists. That's why these are called as a true peroxides. So some examples, boys. So in most of the cases, which of the following is true peroxide, which of the following is pseudo peroxide, like this questions are up there, like that questions are there, boys. True peroxide means nothing but peroxides. Pseudo peroxides, what are those? Their formula seems to be peroxide, but not peroxides. Actually, those are not peroxide, but formula seems to be peroxide. The type of compounds are called as pseudo peroxide. Those are not peroxides. See here, I will take examples. That is true peroxides. What are those? Na2O2, sodium peroxide. Next, H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. Next, barium peroxide, BaO2, barium peroxide. Next, O2F2, dioxane difluoride, which is also peroxide. Next, HNO4N, it is called as pernitric acid. Pernitric acid. Its structure is like this, boys. So N double bond O, day2 bond O, OOH. It is a pernitric acid. There is OO single bond, boys. That's why it is a peroxide. Next, H2SO5, which is called as Carros acid. So these are generally used at the time of oxidation state calculations. Carros acid, which is also called as per-monosulfuric acid. Per-monosulfuric acid, Carros acid. So now it is S double bond O, OH, OOH. It is Carros acid. That is a peroxy linkage, boys. OO single bond linkage. Next, H2S2O8. It is Marshall's acid. Marshall's acid, or also called as per-disulfuric acid. Per-disulfuric acid. Its structure is like this: S double bond O, OH, O, S double bond O, OH. There is a peroxy linkage, boys. This is Marshall's acid or per-disulfuric acid. There is a peroxy linkage. That's a peracid. So per means peroxy. Next one, that is all ozonides. All ozonides are peroxides. Ozonides means that is now C double bond C reacts with ozone, that gives addition productant. Addition compound is formed. This addition compound is called as ozonide. That addition compound is called as ozonide. Let us take the definition. This is C single bond C. These two bonds are going to break in. That is, three oxygens are like this. Three oxygens are like this. This is ozonide, boys. This is ozonide. Here OO single bond is formed. Here OO single bond is there. That is why it is a peroxide. That is why it is a peroxide. Any ozonide, if their name is ozonide, automatically that should be peroxide. Next one, some other examples. Next, CrO5, chromic peroxide. It has butterfly-like structure. That is chromium, two oxygens with peroxy bonds, two oxygens with peroxy bond, a double bond one. Boys, it is a peroxy bond. It is a peroxy bond. It has two peroxy bonds. It has two peroxy bonds. No doubt it is a peroxide. Chromic peroxide, chromium peroxide, chromium peroxide. It has two peroxy linkages. Next, organic peroxides. Organic peroxide, generally R2O2, nothing but ROOR. Here is a peroxy bond. Some examples. That is example, CH3, CO, O, CO, CH3. Here is a peroxy bond. Okay, diacetyl peroxide. It is diacetyl peroxide. Diacetyl peroxide. It is organic peroxide, boys. It is organic peroxide. Okay, generally this is the way used. Peroxide. Next, one more. Second one. That is paracetic acid. Paracetic acid. What is no? Acetic acid is nothing but CH3COOH. It is acetic acid. C triple OH is paracetic acid. C triple OH. That is the structure is CH3, C double bond O, OOH. Here is a peroxy bond. That's why it is a paracetic acid. That is why it is paracetic acid. So that means whenever a word per is there in the name of the compound, automatically that compound has peroxide except one, that is perchloric acid. So there is a word per, but no peroxy bond is there. What is that? Perchloric acid. So in this compound, no peroxy bond. What is the formula? HClO4. HClO4. Its structure is like this: Cl double bond O, double bond O, double bond O, OH. It is HClO4. Is there any OO single bond? No single bond any. That's why no peroxy bond, but the name contains pair. It is the only compound having pair word but no peroxy bond. No peroxy bonds. So except this, all these are peroxide, boys. All these are peroxides. Now, pseudo peroxides. Pseudo peroxides. What are these pseudo peroxides? Formula seems to be peroxide, but not peroxide. Not a peroxide, boys. So actually, these are not peroxides, but formula it seems to be peroxide. So example for that one is PbO2. There is O2, but not peroxide, boys. It is lead dioxide. Lead dioxide. It is lead dioxide, not lead peroxide. It is not lead peroxide, it is lead dioxide. So formula seems to be peroxide, but not peroxide. Next, MnO2, manganese dioxide. MnO2. SnO2. So the formula seems to be peroxide, but actually these are not peroxides. And that type of peroxides are called as, that type of compounds are called as pseudo peroxides. Number of times, which of the following is peroxide, which of the following is a pseudo peroxide, like this questions are appeared. So that's why you should concentrate on these topics. Okay. Now, what are the preparations of this hydrogen peroxide? There are a lot of uses, boys, for the, from this hydrogen peroxide. So no way, it is just memory based concept, and no doubt. It is not possible to identify which one and which one. So by practice, automatically it will available. Okay, now preparation of hydrogen peroxide, that is in our syllabus. Preparation of hydrogen peroxide. So why, sir? Why we are going to prepare this hydrogen peroxide? Because a lot of uses. So for example, wounds are formed because of our daily life. Wounds are formed. So those wounds are cleaned with this hydrogen peroxide. Am I correct or wrong? Tell me, boys. దెబ్బ తగిలింది అనుకోండి, వెంటనే హైడ్రోజన్ పెరాక్సైడ్ వేసి క్లీన్ చేస్తాంగా automatically. So that means our hydrogen peroxide is used as a wound cleaner, that is antiseptic. For example, sometimes in ears to dissolve wax. Okay, so that is antiseptic. Not only ears, nose, like that peroxide is used. And a lot of importance is there. That's why we have to prepare this hydrogen peroxide, because hydrogen peroxide is used as a good oxidizing agent and as well as good reducing agent in our industry. That's right. So how to prepare this hydrogen peroxide? In laboratory as well as industry, large scale. Now, laboratory preparation methods. That is preparation of hydrogen peroxide. That is laboratory preparation method. That is first one. That is Merck's process. Which is Merck's process. What is this Merck's process? By taking a metal peroxide, here I am preparing hydrogen peroxide in laboratory. See here, let us take sodium peroxide, Na2O2, sodium peroxide. Okay, so it is taking in calculated amount. Calculated amount of sodium peroxide is taken to this H2SO4, which is ice cold, very cool temperature, ice cold. So which is 20% H2SO4 solution. 20% H2SO4 solution, ice cold temperature is applied, automatically H2O2 is the product, plus Na2SO4. Na2SO4, which is precipitated. So after cooling, boys, it is our hydrogen peroxide. So here is important component. That is, if it is cooled, it is precipitated as Na2SO4 10H2O. It is precipitated as Na2SO4 10H2O, which is called as salt cake. It is the name of this component. So sodium sulfate 10H2O, no doubt, but commonly called as salt cake. Okay, but we are concentrating at hydrogen peroxide. It is a way to prepare hydrogen peroxide. It is first process, Merck's process. Merck's process. Next, from barium peroxide. Second one, from barium peroxide. from barium peroxide. Here also take barium peroxide and it is a paste. A thin paste of barium peroxide is taken at ice cold condition. Ice cold condition. To this H2SO4. Once again, ice cold condition is applied. Ice cold, very low temperatures and it. So ice cold conditions that gives barium sulfate BaSO4, which is precipitate out, plus Ba plus SO4. This H2 and O2 combination gives H2O2. It is the way to prepare H2O2, boys. So H2O2. But see, boys, very, very important. The formed barium peroxide, barium sulfate forms a layer on unreacted barium oxide, barium peroxide. That means it forms a layer on unreacted barium peroxide. That means no further reaction takes place. No further reaction takes place. That is why H2SO4 nowadays is not used because of this problem. Because of this problem, H2SO4 is not used. So this H2SO4 now replaced with H3PO4, phosphoric acid. In place of H2SO4, H3PO4 is used. H3PO4. Now, what is the reaction behind it? See here. That is 2 BaO2 8 H2O plus H3PO4 phosphoric acid 2 moles H3PO4 involved in the reaction that gives this Ba and phosphate combination Ba3PO4 barium phosphate plus 24 H2O plus H2O2 plus H2O2. That is 3 moles H2O2 is the productant. 3 moles H2O2. This never formed as a layer. So now total reaction takes place. Therefore, this is the latest reaction. It is the latest reaction. So here is the way to prepare H2O2 in laboratory from barium peroxide. In old days, H2O2 is used, H2SO4 is used, but not now. It is with H3PO4. Next, another reaction. From barium peroxide, there is another way to prepare this H2O2 by using peroxide, boys. Mostly Na2O2, Na2O2 and barium peroxide are used. That is second reaction. That is barium peroxide reacts with CO2 plus H2O. CO2 plus H2O. What is the CO2 plus H2O? Generally, we are taking as soda water, or it is steam of CO2. So both the words are used. Steam of CO2. That gives this Ba, this combination gives BaCO3, which is precipitate out, barium carbonate. Along that, H2O2 is the productant. It is the way to prepare H2O2 laboratory, boys. It is the way to prepare. Next, and also any peroxide on hydrolysis gives H2O2. It is a common point. It is the common point. So these are the different methods to prepare H2O2 in laboratory. But it is insufficient, boys. So that's why. So in large scale, how to prepare? What is the how to synthesize H2O2? Synthesis of H2O2. See here. Boys, it is totally theoretical part. Please keep in mind. Please concentrate on the reactions. Please concentrate on the reactions. Otherwise, it is not possible, boys. Otherwise, it is not possible. Now, synthesis. of H2O. I am trying to give each and every reaction. That's why a lot of time is taking. I am trying to give each and every reaction, each and every preparation process. So that is why, please wait. Please, first one, auto oxidation process. Auto oxidation process. So here the chemical used is 2-ethyl anthraquinone. See here, the formula is, the structure of that one is 3 benzene rings are fused, boys. It is double bond O, it is double bond O. So it is ethyl group C2H5, which is taken as 2-ethyl anthraquinone and ONE, because ketone functional group. 2-ethyl anthraquinone. First of all, this 2-ethyl anthraquinone is hydrogenated. Addition of hydrogen in the presence of nickel. Addition of hydrogen in the presence of nickel, that is called as hydrogenation. This is called as hydrogenation. Nothing but reduction, boys. Reduction, hydrogenation. Addition of hydrogen is reduction. See here, this ketonic group is converted into alcoholic group. So that is, the structure is like this. OH, C2H5. Okay, O is converted into OH. See, boys, here no circle, no pi bonds. So that is balanced one. Now it is 2-ethyl anthraquinone. Ol means alcohol. Here OH group. That's why it is Ol. 2-ethyl anthraquinone. Now this 2-ethyl anthraquinone is auto oxidized, itself oxidized, or aerial oxidation. That is nothing but O2 from air, simply, which is called as auto oxidation. That is, O2 from air is collected. So these two oxygens, this hydrogen and this hydrogen combination gives H2O2. It is H2O2. And these alcohols are converted into once again ketones. And now this is double bond O, C2H5, which is once again 2-ethyl anthraquinone is regenerated. 2-ethyl anthraquinone is regenerated. See, boys, actually in our textbook, when 2-ethyl anthraquinone is on auto oxidation gives H2O2. But how to prepare the 2-ethyl anthraquinone? That 2-ethyl anthraquinone is prepared by the reduction of 2-ethyl anthraquinone. 2-ethyl anthraquinone. That's why I'm starting from quinone. But in your textbook, this is starting from here. This is prepared from this one. This is prepared from this one. So this is the method industrially H2O2 is prepared in America-like countries. So very, very useful kind of. Next one, that is here almost 1% H2O2 is formed, boys. Very, very dilute H2O2. 1% or 10% roughly. 1 to 10% H2O2 will be formed. Now remaining is totally water, boys. Electrolysis process. Next process, that is electrolytic process. Electrolytic process. Just a minute, boys. Electrolytic process. Okay. So what is electrolyte? Electrolyte. For this is very, very important. 50% H2SO4 solution at 0 degrees centigrade. Temperature is important in ice cold temperature. 50% H2SO4 at 0 degrees centigrade. Next, this is in old days. But recent days, the electrolyte is equimolar mixture of nothing but 1:1 mixture. Equimolar mixture of ammonium sulfate, that is ammonium sulfate and H2SO4. Equimolar mixture of ammonium sulfate and H2SO4. So this is old days, boys. This is recent days. Okay. So these are the electrolytes. Now electrodes. Anode. Anodes. That anode is platinum rod. Platinum rod acts as anode. Cathode. That is lead wire. Lead wire is a cathode. Now, anode and cathode are separated by using porous diaphragm. Boys. So now here H2O2 is formed at anode end. Very important. H2 is formed at cathode end. So the chemical consumed is water and not H2SO. The chemical consumed for preparation of H2O2 is water. Now, what are the diagrammatic situation? How to prepare this one diagrammatically and equationally? So, see here, boys. All these are very important. Now, so that is a U-shaped vessel. Okay, that is made with glass, which is also called as stoneware vessel. Glass vessel or stoneware vessel. Okay, now in this vessel, our electrolyte is taken in. This is our electrolyte. What is that electrolyte? I am taking 50% H2SO4. This is 50% H2SO4. Okay. Now, to maintain ice cold temperature, which is placed in outer vessel, having ice cubes. These are ice cubes. These are all ice cubes, boys. It is ice. That is why, therefore, it is 50% H2SO4 at 0 degrees centigrade. Now 50% H2SO4 at 0 degrees centigrade. Here, platinum rod is placed in the solution. It is a platinum rod which acts as a platinum anode. Platinum anode, nothing but positive terminal. That is connected to battery positive. Now, this cathode is separated with a perforated porous diaphragm. That is the diaphragm, boys. So that means here lead wire is wounded, boys. Okay, so this is a lead wire which acts as cathode end, that is battery negative end, which acts as cathode, battery negative end. Okay, so this is the arrangement. Now pass the current. Now pass the current. So what are the reactions takes place here? That is, so the solution, that is H2SO4. So H2SO4 first ionizes as H plus ion and HSO4 minus N. So 2 moles, 2 H plus ions, 2 HSO4 minus N. It is ionization. Ionization. Now at cathode end, at cathode, cations are reached. That is 2 H plus ions, gains 2 electrons, converts into hydrogen gas. That is why hydrogen gas is formed at cathode end. Hydrogen gas is formed at cathode. Now, at anode end, at anodes. Now, anion reaches anode, that is 2 HSO4 minus, so converts into H2, S2, O8 end. Paradisulfuric acid, boys. Already I draw the structure. It is a paradisulfuric acid and 2 moles electrons are de-electronation. It is Marshall's acid. Marshall's acid. Now that formed H2S2OH is distilled. That is water is added. It converts into H2SO4 plus H2SO5 and which is called as Carros acid. That contains peroxybond. Now that H2SO5 once again reacts with water, gives H2SO4 plus H2O2. Plus H2O2. That is the way to prepare H2O2. So H2O2 is formed at anode. The chemical consumed in this reaction is H2O, water. So how many moles of electrons are involved in the reaction? 2 moles. 2 moles. That means 2 Faraday charges involved. 2 Faraday charges required for this process. For 1 mole H2O2 preparation. For 1 mole H2O2 preparation, 2 Faraday charges required. 2 Faraday charges required. Okay. So now, for preparation of D2O2, a small chemical, that is chemical is changed. See boys, that is note points. KHSO4, potassium hydrogen sulfate. Potassium hydrogen sulfate. Not potassium. That is K2 S2O8. Potassium paradisulfate. Potassium paradisulfate, which is treated with D2O. That gives KHSO4. KHSO4. Not H is not there. KDSO4 plus D2O2 is the productant. D2O2. So therefore, to prepare D2O2, so here potassium paradisulfate is used. Potassium paradisulfate is used. So for balancing 2 D2O, that is 2 KDSO4, D2O2 is the product. So it is the way to prepare D2O2. So number of times asked, boys, which of the following is used to prepare D2O2? That is K2S2OH. That is potassium paradisulfate. Potassium paradisulfate. Okay, it is in lab only. In lab. Laboratory preparation method. Now it is with H2SO4, boys. Now if ammonium sulfate is involved, ammonium sulfate and H2SO4, latest preparation, let us take the reactions. That is ammonium sulfate. NaH4 twice SO4 reacts with H2SO4. 1:1 mixture is taken, boys. So this combination gives 2 NaH4 HSO4, ammonium hydrogen sulfate. Ammonium hydrogen sulfate. So now that ammonium hydrogen sulfate is ionized as H plus ion and NaH4 SO4 minus ion. ammonium sulfate ion and ammonium sulfate ion. Now at cathodes, so 2 H plus ions takes 2 electrons, convert into H2 gas, converts into H2 gas. Next at anode any, that anion 2 NH4 SO4 minus, so converts into NH4 twice S2OH by the loss of 2 electrons. So previously there H2 is there, now NH4 is there. That is the just replacement. So in previous reactions H2 S2OH. Now it is NH4 S2OH. NH4 S2OH. Next one. Now this NH4 S2OH is hydrolyzed. That is distilled. Distillation takes place. That gives NH4HSO4 plus H2O2 is the product. So now this is reused here to prepare that H2O2. So this is the way to prepare H2O2 industrially. Generally this method is used in our India. It is in India. So this is the preparation methods of H2O2 boys. But industrially, that is either auto oxidation process or electrolytic process. In both these processes, we get H2O2 only 10% H2O2. Only 10% H2O2 is there. So to increase the concentration, that means how to increase? That means 10% H2O2 means only 10 ml H2O2, remaining 90 ml water. So that means removal of that water, automatically percentage of H2O2 inside the solution increases. That means how to get 100% H2O2. That means indirectly, so the remaining water is removed. Removing of water gives percentage increase in H2O2. That is how to concentrate the H2O2 solution formed by this method. Now our topic and last topic for today's, that is concentration of H2O2. Concentration of H2O2. Very, very important. That is 10% H2O2 which is obtained in our methods, that is dilute H2SO4. This dilute H2SO4, first of all, boiled, that is in water bath. Boiled in water bath. That means some of the water is going out and some of the water is going out. So how to increase? See here, this is the 10% H2O2 which is ever obtained in our previous methods. So now I want to increase this 10% into 100% just by the removal of water. Water percentage is decreased, H2O2 percentage increased. So that is the way. So how to remove this water, available water. So first of all, boiled in. So water is evaporated. That will give 30% H2O2. 30% H2O2. This 30% H2O2 weight by volume, which is called as parahydrol, So very, very important. So that is a commercial name, parahydrol. 30% weight by volume H2O2 is called as parahydrol, which is nothing but 100 volume H2O2. Volume standard, 100 volume H2O2. Now, this parahydrol is once again distilled. Distillation takes place. So distillation takes place under reduced pressures. That means by decreasing the pressure, heating is applied under reduced pressure. So that is how much? That is 15 mm is the pressure applied. 15 mm is the pressure at about 70 degrees centigrade. At about 70 degrees centigrade, 15 mm pressure. Okay. Now, so some of the water is going out. Automatically, you will get almost 90% H2O2. 90% H2O2. So that means, so distillation under reduced pressure gives 90% H2O2, but remaining still 10% H2O is there. That is removed by cooling. by with the help of cooling mixture. So that is 90% H2O2. So which is, that is cooling mixture is applied. What is that? Ether plus solid CO2. Solid CO2. That is dry ice. Solid CO2 is nothing but dry ice. So this gives a very cold temperature and very low temperature automatically. So 100% H2O2 is obtained in solid form, and that is needle shaped crystals are obtained. This is 100% H2O2. So this is the way to increase the concentration of H2O2 just by removing the amount of water, just by removing the amount of water. Okay.